Panda Hall presents how to make a blue and white beaded bridal necklace and earring set. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a blue and white beaded bridal necklace and earring set. We'll go step by step. Today I've chosen blue glass drop beads and white pearl beads as the main components to show off their elegance. Now, let's get started on this do-it-yourself jewelry product. So, for today's project you will need 6mm white glass pearl beads, 4mm white glass pearl beads, 3mm yellow pearl beads, 6mm yellow pearl beads, 12mm yellow pearl beads, 11 by 8mm blue faceted glass drop beads, a brass magnetic clasp, a gold brass bead clasp, 0.3 tiger wire, gold head pins, earring hook, iron head pin, and nose round pliers. So, let's get started. Step 1. Snip off a long piece of about 0.3mm tiger wire. You'll need about 220 centimeters. You're going to fold the tiger wire into halves, tie a knot to the magnetic clasp, and then tighten. This will secure the clasp before we start our beading. Now that the clasp is in place, let's begin to make the patterns for the necklace. You're going to thread 2 wires through 2mm white pearl beads and a yellow 3mm pearl bead. Now thread a 3mm yellow bead through the left wire and 2 3mm yellow beads through the right wire. Now thread the left wire through the second yellow bead just as you added and tighten. Once you have tightened the wires, thread a 6mm white bead, a 3mm yellow bead, a blue glass drop bead, and a 3mm yellow bead through each wire respectively. Then add a 3mm yellow bead to the right wire. Then cross the wires through the 3mm yellow bead and tighten. Be sure to keep the wires separately as they are quite long and could cause some confusion. Perfect. Now that's created a nice loop. Now thread a blue drop bead, a 3mm yellow bead, a 6mm white bead through each wire, then cross the wires again through a 3mm yellow bead and tighten. This will form another loop. Now thread a 3mm yellow bead through each wire, then cross the wires to another 3mm yellow bead and tighten. Perfect. Now the next step is to thread a 6mm white bead, a 3mm yellow bead, and a blue drop bead through each wire. Then again, cross the wires through a yellow bead and tighten. This is basically repeating the pattern that we did before. Once you have tightened the wires, you're going to repeat the last step and thread a blue drop bead, a 3mm yellow bead, a 6mm white bead through each wire, and then cross through the 3mm yellow bead. This will form the second part of that X with the blue pearls. This is going to be our basic beading pattern. So now you're going to repeat this pattern exactly as we've already done. Perfect. Now that you've reached the desired length, thread a 3mm yellow bead onto each wire and then cross the wires through another yellow bead. This is going to begin the end process so we can add the final clasp. Once you have tightened those beads, thread 2 6mm white beads through both wires. And then thread both wires through the magnetic clasp. Thread the wires through the magnetic clasp and then along the beads respectively. This will help secure the clasp in place. You will then cut off the short wire and thread the longer wire through a 3mm yellow bead. So begin adding the beads. Again, that's 6 4mm white beads, a 6mm yellow bead, and 6 4mm white beads to the wire. Then thread the wire through a 3mm yellow bead. You're going to continue to repeat this step to finish the rest of the pattern. This will form little loops around the outside. Now thread a 12mm yellow pearl bead through a head pin and make a loop at the head pin's end. You're going to hook this right to the middle of the necklace, and this will form a little dangle. Be sure to center the bead so that everything looks proportional. Through the same pattern that we used to complete this necklace, we can also make a pair of bridal earrings. And ta-da! Just like that, you have a charming and elegant blue and white beaded bridal necklace and earring set that is finished. If you have a friend who's about to be a bride, make a set for one of her as a lovely gift. You can change the colors so that it's a perfect match to their special day. Don't hesitate to give it a try. For more free video making jewelries, just stay tuned to Panda Haul.